1963 Gridiron Battle Wagon before the largest crowd in West Virginia football history. Some can knock over the highly regarded midshipman. It's Navy with the ball in the opening period, and that's fullback Pat Donnelly carving out a 13-yard gain. Navy has defeated West Virginia in 4 of 5 previous meetings. Midi quarterback Roger Staubach is out to make it 5 out of 6. Dave Sugaroo takes this pass on the Mountaineer 45. The Middies move through the air with Staubach leading the attack. Dave Sugaroo shags another, and the Sailors are inside the West Virginia 7. When the Mountaineers blockade the Navy, midshipman Fred Marlin gives the lads from Crabtown a 3-0 lead with this 15-yard field goal. In the second period, the Middies stoke their scoring furnaces again with Staubach passing 14 yards to Ed Orr. Navy is on the West Virginia 37, and the Sailors roar for more. Displaying a powerful air arm, Navy strikes with the big bomb. Staubach pinpoints Ed Orr with a 37-yard beauty to put the Middies out in front 10-0. The Mountaineers have been having trouble, and there's more in store. Ron Callow fumbles, and Dick Ernest recovers for Navy on the West Virginia 46. Staubach is picking the Mountaineers apart with his passing. Kip Paskowitz completes this play for a fast 15 yards. Paskowitz pumps into the end zone as Navy steams away to a 17-0 advantage. Jerry Yost, normally a sharpshooting quarterback, misses his mark, and Bob Orlowski intercepts. Orlowski legs it back 26 yards, making it goal to go for the Middies. Paskowitz punches into the payoff patch to tally his second touchdown. Navy has the situation well in hand with a halftime bulge of 24 points. It's a new half, but the same sad story for West Virginia. Yost throws, and Ed Orr intercepts for Navy. A 52-yard run back results in a big score for Eddie Orr. West Virginia is sinking fast as Navy sails away by 31-0. The Middies continue to dominate the game. Staubach, a contender for All-America honors, demonstrates his running prowess. Roger the Dodger brings the crowd to its feet with this nifty 19-yarder. Navy fires a booming broadside salvo in the person of Johnny Sy. A 5'8" scatback, Sy brings tears to the Mountaineers as he streaks away on a 47-yard scoring play. The Middies are making merry with a 38-0 margin. In the fourth quarter, the Mountaineers are shot down again. Yost is belted by Ed Marino, and he fumbles. Dave Sugaroo recovers, and Navy has another touchdown. The Middies have West Virginia in tow to the tune of 44-0. Alan McCune takes over the passing chores for West Virginia, but the Middies show no mercy. Tom Holden pilfers this pass, and now the Mountaineers are seasick. Bruce Abel proves an able replacement for Roger Staubach. That's Bruce on the loose for 19 yards. Abel tests his arm and finds it A-OK. Bruce zeroes in on Neil Henderson for a 17-yard TD, which puts Navy far in front at 51-0. The Mountaineers are sticking with their ship. Jerry Yost connects with Steve Berzanski, who fights to the Navy 17. West Virginia is finally beginning to click. Yost teams with Berzanski again, and this play is good for 10. The Mountaineers avert a shutout as Jerry Yost spears Fred Houck with a scoring shot. This is far too little and much too late. As Navy bids for national recognition by overwhelming well-regarded West Virginia 51-7.
The United States Naval Academy, after 2 impressive victories, seeks number 3 at the expense of Michigan at Ann Arbor. The Wolverines, also undefeated, are capable of an upset. Navy's Wayne Hardin on the left is greeted by the Wolverine coach, Bump Elliott. Roger Staubach, the Midi quarterback, is the national leader in total offense and a powerful candidate for All-America honors. Staubach takes Navy to the air early and completes a pass to Dave Sugarud for a first down. Staubach remains airborne as the Middies move upfield. Kip Paskowitz, a junior halfback from Miami, has this aerial for 33 yards and a first down on the Wolverine 44. It looks as if the Middies are going to score early, but Kip Paskowitz fumbles on the Wolverine 11 to scuttle Navy's initial threat. It remains a scoreless duel until the Middies start to march in the second quarter. Roger Staubach hits Jim Campbell with a 15-yard pass. Navy's clever signal caller tries the left side this time and finds enough room to squeeze in for a touchdown. Navy strikes first to lead 7-0. The Wolverines are unable to mount any kind of an offensive, so Navy starts steaming. Pat Donnelly picks up a first down. Now Staubach goes for broke. He sights in on John Sy and lets it ride. His pass is taken on the Michigan 25, and Sy outraces 2 defenders to the goal line. Michigan is up to its neck in hot water, trailing Navy 13-0 at intermission. The third quarter finds Michigan still unable to get off the ground. Eddie Orr intercepts Forrest Evashevsky's pass and returns it to the Michigan 5. Donnelly quickly smashes over for the touchdown as the Middies continue to show their might. It's 20-0 with Navy comfortably ahead of its Big Ten opponent. But Michigan isn't ready to throw in the towel. Bob Chandler unfurls a 37-yard touchdown pass to John Henderson. Trailing 20-7, Michigan still has a long way to go. Navy, the number 7 team in the nation, continues to impress the Midwesterners. Staubach arches a pass to Neil Henderson, good for 32 yards. Roger doesn't give Michigan a chance to fathom a defense for this naval assault. He rakes 10 yards closer to the goal. When Staubach runs into trouble, he usually finds a way to get out of it. Roger gets rid of the ball, and Neil Henderson makes the catch for the touchdown. The Middies sailing along, 26-7. Bob Chandler sparks the belated fourth quarter Michigan offense. John Henderson is the receiver for 17 yards, while Navy receives a 15-yard penalty for piling on. Wolverines know that time is running out. Chandler maintains his on-the-target tossing in a bid to beat the clock. Again, Chandler goes to the air. Craig Kirby takes it on the sideline for 11 yards. Navy is giving Michigan the short pass. This quick down-and-out pattern goes to Kirby for 12 more yards. Bob Chandler knows it's now or never, so he goes for the payoff. John Henderson makes the catch in the end zone for the final Wolverine touchdown. Justifying its national ranking, Navy, with a superb performance from its All-American candidate Roger Staubach, sails on undefeated by sinking Michigan 26-13.
Ton's Game of the Week matches the undefeated Pitt Panthers against once-beaten Navy before a record crowd at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. This game is somewhat of a pigskin paradox in that Pitt, the third-ranking team in the nation, is a 5-point underdog to Navy, the country's 11th rated gridiron power. Navy has not lost in this stadium since its dedication in 1959. One man does not a team make, but in Roger Staubach, Navy has football's closest thing to a one-man gang. The marvelous Mitty quarterback is the national leader in total offense, having accounted for 1,171 yards in 5 games. His coach, Wayne Harden, calls Staubach the finest football player ever. Roger, a junior from Cincinnati, has completed 64 of 90 passes for 890 yards and 4 touchdowns. Head coach Johnny Michael Olson has his Panthers playing a wide-open style of football. In their 4 straight wins, the Panthers have featured the passing of number 16, Fred Mazurik, who has completed 32 of his 48 attempts. Paul Martha is being touted for All-America honors. He's one of Pitt's top ground gainers and leading receivers. The game is only minutes old as we pick up the action with Pitt in possession. Fred Mazurik attempts his first pass of the day, and it's intercepted. Mitty captain Tom Lynch puts the pinch on the pass, and it's Navy's ball on the Pittsburgh 24. The Panthers scuttle this Navy attack, but Fred Marlin from the 26-yard line boots a perfect field goal, and it's 3-0 Navy at the close of the first quarter. Navy weighs anchor in the second period with Roger Staubach throwing 17 yards to Jim Campbell. Staubach, whom Navy men rate on a par with a Polaris missile, picks out Campbell again as the Middies steam into Pitt territory. The Staubach to Campbell combination appears unstoppable. Jim takes Roger's toss, and Navy has 19 more yards. Roll-out artist, Staubach sprints to the outside, and he's down inside the Pittsburgh 10-yard line. Johnny Sy leaps high to give the Gobs a touchdown. At the half, Navy has Pittsburgh in tow, 10-0. In the third quarter, Staubach is still bewildering the Panther pass defense. Ed Orr, Navy's leading receiver, snares this one on the Pitt 12 for a 29-yard gain. Staubach finally feels the fury of the Pitt Panther. Roger is rushed off his feet for a 19-yard loss. Third quarter ends with Navy still enjoying a 10-point margin. That's Kenny Lucas piloting the Panthers in the fourth period, but Navy is controlling the air lanes today. Bob Orlowski makes the interception and makes tracks to the Pitt 35. Roger Staubach, on his way to winning All-America honors, is a master scrambler. He's at his best here as he turns a possible loss into a long gainer. Staubach shoves in for the Navy touchdown as Navy steams away to a 17-0 advantage over Pitt. Kenny Lucas finally gets the Panther offense organized as he tosses down and out to John Jenkins for 13 yards. On a razzle-dazzle double reverse, Eric Crabtree ends up with the ball, and Pittsburgh ends up 10 yards to the good on the Navy 39. Lucas, the brother of former Penn State All-American Richie Lucas, makes a big hit for Pitt. Kenny connects with Eric Crabtree, and the Panthers have their first points of the game. It's a 39-yard touchdown that makes the score Navy 17, Pittsburgh 6. Pitt on the attack again, but this time Lucas has a change of luck. His pass bounces away from his receiver and into the arms of Jim Campbell. Campbell laterals to Pat Donnelly as Navy sets up another score with its 4th interception of the game. Donnelly enjoys the scoring honors, and the midshipmen have the Pitt Panther cage to the tune of 24-6. Pittsburgh battles gamely to protect its unbeaten record. Kenny Lucas, a sophomore who looks like a real comer, leads the Middies a merry chase before passing to Paul Martha.
Martha sails past the Sailors en route to a 74-yard touchdown. Navy, paced by the passing of Roger Staubach, helps Pittsburgh out of the ranks of the unbeaten 24-12 as the Middies climb back up the ladder into football's top 10. Navy sails into Notre Dame Stadium, labeled the 4th finest team in the nation. A sellout crowd will witness the 37th renewal of the Navy-Notre Dame series, which is the longest continuous intersectional rivalry in collegiate football. Navy's Wayne Harden brings his Middies into this game with a 5-1 record. Hugh DeVore's Irish have won 2 and lost 3. Midshipman Roger Staubach is Mr. Football on the collegiate scene in 1963. The sharpshooting Navy quarterback is still the national leader in total offense, having accounted for 1,306 yards in 6 games. Jim Kelly, Notre Dame's All-American end candidate, sprained an ankle in last week's upset by Stanford, and this could hurt the Irish passing game. Late in the first period, we find Notre Dame in punt formation. A poor pass from center forces Dan McGinn to run. He's dropped by Neil Henderson on the Irish 18, where it's 1st and 10 for Navy. Fullback Nick Markoff powers inside the Notre Dame 5, and the first period ends with the Middies and the Fighting Irish locked in a scoreless tie. On the first play of the second quarter, Navy shatters the stalemate. Roger Staubach hits Gary Kellner with a touchdown pass, and the Sailors lead 7-0. Fighting Irish come right back with Frank Budka pegging to Jack Snow for a first down on the Navy 37. Joe Cantor carries to the outside and picks up 6 before the Middies gang up on him. Bill Walski on a crossbuck makes it goal to go for Notre Dame on the Navy 2-yard line. On a keeper play, Frank Budka pushes into pay dirt, giving the Fighting Irish a 7-7 halftime tie. The Middies have only beaten Notre Dame 8 times as opposed to 27 wins for the Irish. Navy gets off on the right foot in the third quarter as Roger Staubach converts a busted pass play into a 10-yard gain. With Notre Dame ends applying terrific pressure, Staubach comes up with a perfect play. It's a screen pass to Pat Donnelly, which works for 30 yards as Donnelly dodges to the Notre Dame 26. Roger Staubach, who has completed better than 71% of his passes this season, connects with Kip Paskowitz for 12 more yards. Flawless ball handling on the part of Staubach precedes a perfect pass to Pat Donnelly. This spells touchdown Navy, and the Tars are on top 14-7. The third period belongs to the Middies. Pat Donnelly, who's having a big day, gets loose again for 21 yards. With Pat Donnelly doing the damage, Navy blasts down to the Notre Dame 3-yard line. The Irish can't hold the blue and the gold. Johnny Sy deposits the ball in the end zone to make it 21-7 in Navy's favor. Now Notre Dame must play catch-up football. This is a dangerous game, and it backfires on the Irish as Budka's pass is stolen for a touchdown by Gary Kellner. The Middies carry a 28-7 bulge into the fourth quarter. In the final period, the Sailors continue their scoring binge. Pat Donnelly takes a pitch out, and this Middie brings the crowd to its feet as he gives the Fleet a touchdown treat. Donnelly's 41-yard romp puts Navy far in front at 35-7. Notre Dame has done nothing in the second half, and once again the Irish are forced to kick. McGinn's punt is fumbled by Wayne Hansen, and Jack Snow recovers for Notre Dame on the Navy 13. The Irish make this break pay off in points as Joe Cantor surges past the Middies on a 10-yard dash to the end zone. Navy, an explosive and exciting team, more than justifies its national rating as the midshipmen overpower Notre Dame 35-14. The word from Annapolis now, Staubach for Admiral. Navy game, the star-spangled spectacle of collegiate football, is renewed for the 64th time before a crowd of some 102,000 at vast Philadelphia Stadium. Despite all of the natural color surrounding this game of games, some of the normal hijinks is missing, with both the Brigade of Midshipmen and the Corps of Cadets solemnly dedicating today's game to the memory of their late Commander-in-Chief, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. This storied series began in 1890. The cadets have been victorious 30 times, the midshipmen have won 28 times, and 5 games have ended in ties. Navy has beaten Army 4 years running, and the slogan for the Middies today is Drive for 5. The big gun for Navy is Roger Staubach. The sensational All-America quarterback has been named 1963's Collegiate Player of the Year. The cadets will be led by Carl Stitchway, a truly outstanding running quarterback and an all-around player. Army coach Paul Dietzel on the left hopes to shatter the 4-game winning streak of Navy's Wayne Harding. It's Army with the ball in the opening moments of play. Carl Stitchway, who loves to carry the ball on rollout runs, races around the Navy flank for a first down on the Sailor 37. Now it's 3rd and 9 for Army on the Navy 10. Stitchway stuns the Middies as he rolls around the corner and somersaults into the end zone for an Army touchdown. The cadets score the first time they get the ball to lead Navy 7-0. The Middies, ranked number 2 in the nation, must come from behind, and Staubach starts them on their way with a pass to Neil Henderson. Henderson races into Army territory on a 22-yard play. The Sailors have been promised a berth in the Cotton Bowl if they beat Army. Staubach leads them goalward with a 20-yard completion to Bob Teal, and the Middies are threatening at the end of the first period. In the second quarter, Johnny Sy slashes to the Army 3, where it's 1st and goal for the Tars. A crunching cadet defense blockades the Navy for 3 downs, and on the final try, Staubach is driven out of bounds on the 1-yard line as Army holds. Cadet coach Paul Dietzel breathes a little easier as Army punts out of trouble. But here comes the Navy, and Roger Staubach, the Heisman Award winner, is at his finest. A master scrambler, Roger the Dodger, throws back to the weak side to Gary Kellner, and the play goes all the way as Kellner sprints into the end zone. It's a spectacular effort, but it isn't worth a thing as a penalty nullifies an apparent touchdown. Navy weighs anchor again as Staubach storms through the cadets for a fast 10 yards. The screen pass has been one of the Navy's most devastating weapons all season, and it saves the Middies here. That's Johnny Sy with the ball, racing for a 26-yard gain on a big 3rd down play. Staubach looks for a receiver, but he doesn't look long. Roger finds running room and darts and dodges down to the Army 4. Pat Donnelly powers past the cadets and into the end zone as Navy rallies to tie Army 7-7 at the half. In the 3rd quarter, Roger Staubach directs a naval task force as he whips a pass to Ed Orr for a first down on the Army 48. On a quick opener, Pat Donnelly booms through the Army forward wall, and he's good for a gain of 19 yards. Again, Navy employs that quick opening play, and again, Donnelly is loose in the Army secondary. Stitchway stops him on the soldiers' 9. On 4th down, nobody stops Donnelly as he cracks across to put the Middies in front for the first time, 14-7. In the 4th period, the cadets drive to the Navy 8. But on 4th down, Ken Waldrop is dropped behind the line as the Middy defense comes up with a magnificent effort. Navy is 91 yards away from the end zone, but Pat Donnelly puts the Gobs on the touchdown trail with a 13-yard burst over tackle. Scat back Johnny Sy shoots through the Army line and rips off a 16-yard run before the cadets can stop him. The Black Knights are called for piling on, giving Navy a first down on the Army 28. Pat Donnelly, who has been a superstar for the middies today, is off and running again. Donnelly stiff-arms Stitchway at the 8 and goes in for the score. This is Donnelly's third touchdown of the game, tying the record of Navy's Joe Bellino, and it gives the midshipmen a 21-7 advantage with some 10 minutes remaining to be played. Fred Marlin kicks off for Navy. Ken Waldrop, Army's leading rusher and top scorer, gives the cadets a big boost as he returns the ball to the Army 48. The cadets cling to their game plan of ball control. They stick strictly to the ground as Waldrop makes his way to the Navy 33. Stitchway on a weak side rollout shakes free for 12 yards as Army applies the pressure. Tremendous blocking by the Army line opens a fine hole for Waldrop, and it's goal to go for the cadets at the Navy 5. Carl Stitchway, who was playing an outstanding game, tacks up his second touchdown of the day as Army scores with 6 minutes and 19 seconds to play. The cadets decide to attempt a two-point conversion, and there's that man Stitchway again. He's in for the bonus points. Army closes the gap to 21-15. Ray Hawkins prepares to kick off, but watch closely and you'll see Dick Haight attempt an onside kick. Carl Stitchway, who is all over the field, makes a key recovery, and the cadets take possession on the Navy 49. Ray Paskey jars the Tars as he plows past the middies for a first down on the Navy 33. Make it 3rd and 6 on the Navy 18 as Stitchway attempts his 7th pass of the game. Don Parcells takes it to the middies 7, and there are 98 seconds remaining. With goal to go, the cadets call on Ken Waldrop, and he smashes down to the 2-yard line. 4th down is coming up, and Army, with no timeouts remaining, is unable to stop the clock. Coach Harden and his middies are on their feet as the cadets come up over the ball. But Army takes too much time. The clock runs out, and the game is over. No one can say whether Army would have scored or not, but no one can detract from the inspired performance staged by a scrappy band of cadets. The middies' drive for 5 proved successful as the Navy defeats Army 21-15. This is Wayne Harden's 5th consecutive coaching conquest over Army, and now he must prepare his midshipmen for a New Year's Day engagement in the Cotton Bowl with the #1 team in the nation, Texas.